And this is the board meeting that is the consolidated board meeting of November and December. So it's on a Tuesday rather than a Wednesday, a rather auspicious Tuesday. So if you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, we'll get started. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. So I'll entertain a motion for, we do have a quorum, correct? Okay. So I'll entertain a motion for the acceptance of the October minutes of meeting. Second?
I'll second.
Okay. Can we have the community manager, I'm sorry, the
Approval of the minutes.
oh, so the motion is approved. Okay. The officers' reports. Kevin is not here, but I will comment on a few things. One was the candidates forum that was held after the last meeting. Only 2 people actually attended that. It was not much of a turnout, but we weathered it out as long as we said we were going to stay there. I think it was a 3-hour duration that we stayed there. And it was a little disappointing that only 2 people showed any interest in being on the board. Be that as it may, still open for nominations and presentation of credentials and application to be considered. The active shooter class that was held was well attended, quite informative. For those of you who may have been in that audience, I believe we're going to try to do that again in the future. I think Crime Watch folks are trying to set up for a second showing of the Sheriff's Department to come out here. It's good information in today's world because, as you can see, it doesn't only happen in the schools, but it happens in stores and airports and other places that we're likely to frequent. It's just good common sense information they offer. One thing I will mention being that, while I have the floor, that I do monitor the county's posting of what's happening with the real estate that's around us, the open parcels. The golf course was posted on the website of the county where the tax appraiser's records are. It was posted on October 22nd with a somewhat nameless corporation that the name of it only is 6 letters of the alphabet, and I presume it's maybe 3 partners in their initials, but I don't know that to be factual because it is a Delaware corporation, an LLC, and it so far has been impenetrable to find out who owns it or who the managing partners are in that LLC. Nonetheless, on December 1st, it went to an actual posting with all documents submitted, and the county has placed that on its website, and it only shows the 6 letters of this corporation's name. So the sale has occurred. The people who hold the property are somewhat anonymous at the moment, so we'll keep an eye on that. I guess I could do the vice president's report too. Well, all right, while I have that floor. Okay, so my committees are the CERT committee and the Crime Watch committee. Crime Watch did not have any proceedings in November because they occurred the day before the Thanksgiving event, so the meeting did not take place. And CERT continues to have their sessions. They're well attended, and they offer common sense to a lot of the home emergencies that you might encounter, a lot of common sense information on what hazards to look for and how to respond to those particular hazards. So I encourage everybody to try and support those 2 committees. They are doing some good work, and they don't get enough appreciation sometimes. Gentlemen, Jerry? Mr. Rosenberg?
Yes. not be aware,
we have the WISE program, which is water conservation, and Wayne Vance has now gone in and given me the numbers for the next set of zones that he's going to convert to MP nozzles. And in doing that, we would save about 25,000 gallons of water every cycle when we run our sprinklers. And the area that we're now looking at redoing is the area from the first circle going towards the second circle, and there are 5 zones. So I have all the papers ready. I'm going to stop by Kevin's house today, and I'm going to get him to sign it, and then hopefully by this afternoon I'll send it off in an email to SwiftMod, and they'll come back with a positive decision, I hope, and then we can begin the project either sometime this year or next year. The total cost of the project is about $9,600, and SwiftMod, if they approve, will give us half of that. So it's a good deal, and the saving of 25,000 gallons of water is a lot, because we get it directly from the aquifer from our pumps that service the common grounds.
So less wear and tear on the pumps.
Yeah, and water savings, and Wayne and we'll make sure that things stay green with less water.
Okay, anything else?
Nothing else.
Madam Treasurer?
I don't have any financials to report on because we are meeting in the beginning of December. Normally I would report on November financials, so I have nothing to report.
Joanne? Anything? Heather, leave the floor is yours.
In October and November, we had 5 new homeowners move in each month. For the bocce lighting, this was approved at the last board meeting. The supplies just came in last week, so maintenance is working on scheduling the install of that lighting. While the officers were here who did the active shooter training, they said that they could do a security review of the clubhouse and the office. We have that scheduled for December 15th. They'll review the whole building and then provide us a recommendation letter of anything that could be done where we might be lacking. The coupons for 2022 are going to go out this week on Friday. We have the document updates. There have been some suggestions made for the ARC and the Rules and Regulations Manual to be updated. Because we have to do the 30-day mailing for the postcard for this to all homeowners, what I would recommend is having all the board of directors look at those documents and see what you think might need to be updated, so we make all the updates at one time. For electronic voting, we've had 482 homeowners return their forms to vote electronically. For the deadline to vote for the 2022 annual meeting, all submissions would have to be entered by January 24th. Otherwise, if you do not choose to vote electronically, you will receive a paper ballot. In 2022, we're going to be implementing a new electronic work order system. Dan Thomas from Associa came last week and gave myself, Mike Rado, Sunshine State Sprinklers, and Integrity Pest Control a training class on that work order system. I think it's going to be very beneficial to the community for how we keep track of the work orders. At the October board meeting, we approved adding 4 additional pickleball courts. Welch has advised that the court conversion will begin mid to late December, but they have not provided a definite start date yet. We are collecting quotes on refinishing the pool in 2022. Those quotes are being reviewed and the references checked, and will be on the January agenda. And that completes my report.
Okay, thank you. Are we ready for new business?
The committee reports.
Committee report.
Oh, committee reports. Is anybody in the audience representing a committee? Yes, no reports. You want to tackle new business then? Okay. Joanne, you're up first with bathroom remodeling.
I make a motion to send out an RFP for a general contractor to begin the clubhouse bathroom remodel. The bathroom remodel has been pushed off for many years, and the reserve study has the remodel booked for 2022. The money is there, and we should proceed with the bathrooms and continue the update that we started in the clubhouse a few years ago. The CAM and the maintenance team will oversee this project with a general contractor.
All those in favor?
Oh,
Second.
oh, nobody seconded.
Okay, second. Okay, all those in favor?
I'd like to discuss it first.
All right.
It's great that you want to do an RFP, but the question is, what's gonna be in it? Are we gonna tile, we're gonna tile, I talked with Heather, and some of these things she mentioned, and they're good ideas. She wants to tile behind the toilets and the backsplashes, and a new tile floor. Well, you're gonna have to rip up the current one, because there are voids in that. Are we gonna have automatic faucets in all the bathrooms? How about an air dryer? Some people like air dryers because you don't have to touch any paper and there's nothing hanging around. Other people prefer the brown paper towels that come down. Before we say, yeah, we want to do an RFP, shouldn't we figure out what we want in it and then go ahead and do it?
The motion is to send out an RFP for a general contractor. All we're doing is a motion to send out an RFP at this point. That's what we're voting on right now.
So without even having any idea what we want, we just say, oh, we want a general contractor to oversee this.
No, what we're asking is if the board will approve sending out an RFP to a general contractor. Heather and Mark will work on the RFP. That's all we're voting on today. Do we want to send out an RFP for a general contractor?
So this is before we devote resources to developing the scope of work like we always do.
Correct.
All right, so the scope of work has to be developed.
I would think we do that before we send out any request.
You can do this type of contract several different ways. You can have a beauty contest among the contractors, propose to us your best plan for this, and we approve the
Yes.
finishes, we approve their concept, or we can try to be architects and create a scope of work. I prefer the beauty contest approach.
Is there any more discussion?
Any more discussion? No? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved.
Everybody was in favor?
The next motion is tennis court windscreens and the other Joanne.
Okay, tennis court windscreens.
You need your mic.
Yeah. Excuse my froggy voice for my allergies. Can you hear me?
I can't.
All right. What is going on? Hello?
Yeah.
All right. I make a motion to purchase new tennis court windscreens and tie wraps from Welch Tennis for a reserve cost of $3,924.06. The rationale is the replacement of the windscreens is in the 2022 reserve study. Mark inspected the screens and they need replacement. Maintenance will install the windscreens, saving the community $18,000 compared to the budget in the reserve study.
Second.
Okay, was there any discussion to this? Okay, motion carried. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next motion. Can I still make this motion?
Yes.
Okay. So this motion is with REC, with Alucci Electric Company. I make a motion to enter into agreement with WREC for an additional light pole on Wexford near New Britain for an install cost of $4,691.25 and a refundable deposit cost of $1,283.40 and an average monthly billing cost of $32.15. The rationale for this is that there's been several homeowners and walkers that have complained about the lack of lighting in this one particular spot on Wexford. And this area is somewhat somewhat due to the way the shrubbery has grown and somewhat due to how the trees have started to obscure the other lights that are a little bit distant from this one particular point on a curve. Being that it's close to my house, and I'm not much of a walker, I actually walked it 2 nights and I looked at it, and it's pretty dark to where it's good to have a flashlight when you go through that particular spot. So we had with Alucci come out and talk to us about putting a light. The only problem when you start adding lights here is that it has to be put in underground. It has to be bored, conduit has to be bored through the ground, and it's not just putting a trench in the ground and running the wire. That's not with Alucci's standard for these things. So there's about a 200-foot run from where the light goes to the electrical power distribution box that's covered up with hedges, and it'll tie into that box and bring lighting to this particular spot.
I'll second it.
So I make a motion that we put this light in at this cost. This light, I should have added, it'll match existing. It'll be the same as all the other lights. So, sorry, different.
I'll second it.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. I thought I did the discussion.
You did this here.
Close enough.
Glad to see this getting done. We've been talking about this for about a year now, so this is great.
Okay. That is the end of the new business. Do we have any residents' comment? Anybody want to approach?
Hi, Kim.
About 2 weeks ago, I think it was, I sent an email to the board suggesting that we do something about rain barrels. I was in a meeting with some of the Master Gardener management folks, and they said that if we do rain barrels through a workshop and purchase it through utilities, the cost of the rain barrel is, as stands right now, $50, and residents who purchase a rain barrel will get a $25 rebate, so the purchase cost becomes $25. The barrels that Lily Browning can get at a bulk rate are tan, so they would match a majority of houses here. They're plastic, they can be painted, but not advised to be painted, so I didn't know if there was any way to have the ARC take a look at the requirements in the current documents and see if they can be modified so that these rain barrels can be approved, even if it doesn't exactly match the house color. It will save us, again, on money on watering, it will save water. So I don't know if that has carried any further than my email. I'd like to know if that's something that we can look at, and Lily would come here and do the workshop for us, and we would be able to get the rain barrels that way. Thank you.
I looked at those, Kim, and they appear to be high quality rain barrels. And I'm colorblind, but the color appears to be neutral. It's maybe one of my good colors, but I kind of like the way they look. The other thing I would say is that for some folks, the rain barrel is going to require some downspout work so that the water can actually get into the rain barrel itself. So for people that are handymen, they may be able to put that in rather easily, but for others, they may have to get somebody who does gutters and downspouts to get the downspout to come into the rain barrel from wherever it's located. Can we actually ask Mark to take a look at that?
We can, one of the things when I was talking about revising the ARC and the rules and regulations manual, that is one of the items that we do have listed. We just need to look at the whole document, so we do it all at one time.
It'd be nice to have a uniform style zone throughout the community so that we just don't get the whole competition between Home Depot and Lowe's dotting the landscape, but I think it's a good idea. I think they're presentable, they look good.
And if you
Kim,
want,
thanks for recommending that and bringing it to our attention.
and if you want to, if you have a garden or something, that's where it'll become useful, because you just run a hose from the rain barrel and just water your garden.
Yeah, these actually have a little spigot that
Yeah.
is made to go into your sprinkler can, which I thought was pretty nice. I could use that for all the potted plants I have on the lanai.
Yeah,
Lily will also go through how you install them when she does the rain barrel workshop.
Okay,
right, well, if we got enough people to do it all at once, maybe we get, one of the aluminum companies to do all the
yeah,
people, you know.
it's not particularly hard. You just have to get the water in the barrel. That's the first objective. Sir?
I would consider specifying that they be installed in the back of the house only. Because everybody has a drain spout generally in the back of the house,
Yeah,
not in the front.
I do not, mine goes under my pavers, and currently our manual says it can be installed anywhere there is a downspout. I don't recommend changing that.
you wanna look into that, Heather?
Heather's
The-
making notes.
Yeah,
She's on it. Anything else?
I don't know. Anybody else have any comment? Gentleman coming up?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Last month I came before the board and I asked them to, take a look at the dumpster situation out there. And I haven't seen any movement of that being replaced. With the Thanksgiving serving out here, it's gotten worse. That dumpster's leaking, it looks horrible. And nothing's been done, and it's getting worse. Now, I'd like to add to that, you look at the sidewalk coming up to that kitchen, it's almost black. I would invite the board to go take 5 minutes of your time and go out there and look at that situation. If my property looked like that, I would be getting a letter from you people and given 30 days to correct that situation. All these other issues, I think, take a backseat to a health issue, which I think that is. I know the president's not here. He looked at the secretary to write it down. I haven't seen any movement on that whatsoever.
I'm looking at the secretary, see if we've done anything.
I spoke to Republic and they said they would look into replacing the canisters for us, as well. I've spoken to Mark. They used to be in that enclosed area, but they had to be moved out. And they do pressure wash that sidewalk over there every few months. So I will make sure that the pressure washer cleans the sidewalk again.
Well, I'll tell you, that is one ugly looking situation out there, and I think it needs immediate attention. I know the president's not here, but I think this is a very important issue.
I will look at it before I leave here today.
Okay, thank you very much.
Madam?
I wasn't at the last meeting, and the question I have is the HOA going up next year or not?
No.
No?
It has stayed at 199.
Okay.
Ronnie,
Yes.
the master is staying
Okay,
at 199 and the patio has increased.
okay.
So
because
when
I
you said
heard-
the HOA, I didn't know which association.
Oh, I'm
you
sorry,
meant.
yeah. Yeah, the master. Okay, thank you very much.
Anybody else? Motion to adjourn?
second.
We're adjourned. No discussion on that?
No discussion.